गुड मर्निङ एभ्रिबडी विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू। म आज कक्षा 12 को हेरिटेज अवार्ड्स भन्ने पुस्तकबाट द ल्यामेन्टेसन अफ द वर्ल्ड पेन्सनर भन्ने एउटा कविता जसलाई डब्ल्युबी एड्सले लेख्नु भएको छ, यसको बारेमा केही कुराहरू सेयर गर्न गइराखेको छु। स्लाइड चाहिँ अन्तिमसम्म हेर्नु होला। द ल्यामेन्टेसन अफ वर्ल्ड पेन्सनर is a poem written by W.B. Yeats, who was born in Dublin in 1865 and died in 1939. This poem is a revised version of W.B. Yeats' earlier poem. In the poem, The Lamentation of the World Pensioner is, I have already mentioned, it was composed by Irish poet and dramatist W.B. Yeats. He spends a large part of his life in London. Although his interest in Irish culture and political life remained constant, he was co-founder of the Irish National Theatre Company, and his play, The Countess Kathleen, began the Irish theatrical revival. He was also prominent in Ireland's cultural and literary revival, which takes his name from his collection of the stories, The Celtic Twilights. His best-known collection from his later period are The Tower, including the poems Sailing to Byzantium and Leda and the Swan. In The Winding Stair, it served as a senator of the Irish Free State for 2 terms and was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature, as it is first Irishman who honored in 1923. This poem presents the poet's reminiscences or samjanaharu of his present state and contrasts his time of youth with his state in the world age. The speaker of the poem, The Lamentation of Old Pensioner, is a retired person, retired world man, who expresses his feelings of sadness and disappointment of having the beauty and the youth robbed by the tyranny of time. W.B. Yeats in his poem recollects his young and energetic youth and laments. Here laments means dukha vyakta garnu. It is neglected state in his old age. Time has transfigured him from young to old, depriving him of enjoying his colorful life. This poem also contrasts the world and present age of the poet. The poet has felt that the time is omnipotent and nobody can resist it. Everyone has to go through various stages of life. In fact, world people are not a burden, rather, they are the source of experience, knowledge, and guidance. The speaker implies that we shouldn't regret as we grow old but celebrate the old age. And the poet considers that the time is responsible for his present neglected condition. Therefore, the poet expresses hatred towards the time by spitting into the face of changing time. In the poem, you can find the speaker is sitting under a broken tree while taking shelter under a broken tree. The speaker feels that he is like that broken tree. When the tree was young and beautiful, everybody came and sat under it for shadow. But now, when it is broken, it is left alone. प्लिज स्क्रिनसट विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू यसलाई स्क्रिनसट गर्नुहोस्। I'm just going through the stanza wise, through the poem to analyze it. In the first stanza, although I sheltered from the rain under a broken tree, my chair was nearest to the fire in every company that talked of love of politics, loved our politics, our time transfigured me. In the first stanza, the speaker compares his energetic and eventful youth with his lonely and passive old age. In his youth, he used to spend his time with the company of his friends, talking about love and politics. But now he is alone and is taking shelter from the rain under a broken tree. And in second stanza, though lads are making pikes again for some conspiracy, and crazy rascals raise their field at human tyranny, my contemplations are of time that has transfigured me. In second stanza, the speaker compares himself with young boys. The young boys are involved in unusual activities like making weapons for conspiracy and expressing their anger at human tyranny. But the speaker seems to be much wiser and more experienced and has something else to concentrate on. He contemplates from that tyranny of time for changing him into an old man. And in third stanza, it is there is not a woman turns her face upon a broken tree, and yet the beauties that I loved are in my memory. I spit into the face of time that has transfigured me. In the third and last stanza, the speaker gets even more agonized to know that not a single woman looks at him now. However, he still cherishes at the memories of being in love with beautiful woman in his youth. Finally, he regards time as responsible for bringing all these changes in his life and expresses his feelings of anger, wishing to spit into the face of time. यसलाई पनि स्क्रिनसट गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूले। तीनवटा स्ट्यान्जालाई तीनवटा प्याराग्राफमा प्याराफ्रेजिङ गरिएको छ। The theme of the poem. In the poem, The Lamentation of the Old Pensioner, written by W.B. Yeats, the speaker laments on the passing of his joyful youth. In the past, the speaker was young and he had a happy life. The poet remembers his youth and laments for the loss of it. So his friends and lovers followed him. He was happy to talk about love and politics. His past life only gives him agony because time has turned him into ugly, weak, and useless old man. Neither his friends nor any beauties follow him. He is jealous to see other young people who challenge any conspiracy and evils. So he is angry with time and wants to spit in its face. Okay, before starting, some important question and answer from the poem, The Lamentation of Old Pensioner. Uh, Listen carefully. The summary of the poem. The Lamentation of Old Pensioner is a beautiful poem. It is composed by W. Yeats. He expresses bitter feelings of an old man in the first stanza. The poet shows his present condition. Now he is taking shelter under a broken tree. He remembers his past, his youth was romantic. He had many friends. They used to talk of love and politics. But time has changed him. The second stanza is about the present events. He looks around, he sees people making weapons. They want to harm others. Some people are ready to fight against tyranny. हेर tyranny भनेको अत्याचार. But he doesn't mind them. His anger is on time. Last stanza shows his painful condition. He is totally broken. No woman even looks at him. He has lost his energy. He remembers his past and consoles himself. He remembers beautiful woman who loved him, although the time has made him old. His beautiful past memories are still fresh in his mind. He challenges the time to make his memories world and useless. He hates the time for his world state. So he spit into his space of time. Or explain and summarize the title of the poem भनेको छ. यसमा त्यति धेरै अप्ठ्यारो चाहिँ छैन भाइबहिनीहरू. हामी चाहिँ प्याराफ्रेजिङ, स्ट्यान्डर्ड वाइज प्याराफ्रेजिङ र समरी सेन्ट्रल आइडियाको बारेमा छलफल गरिसकेपछि let's go through the lines which I have prepared as the answer of this question. The Lamentation of the World Pensioner is revised version of W.B.Yeats' poem, The World Pensioner. The title seems to be more significant than the earlier one because it suggests what and whom the poem is all about. Lamentation means an expression of sadness and disappointment, whereas pensioner means a person who has got retirement from his active life. This poem, a retired old man is expressing his feelings of sadness and disappointment for losing the beauty and youth of his life. So the title of the poem is quite appropriate. The summary in one sentence. The poem The Lamentation of Old Pensioner is all about the feeling of regret, grief, and disappointment expressed by a retired old man who finds his charm, energy, and beauty of his youth robbed by the tyranny of time. Why does the speaker want to speed? Yeah, SPEET है यहाँ स्पिड भएछ यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले सच्याउनु पर्ला. स्पिड SPIT स्पिड भनेको थुक्नु, face of time. The speaker want to spit into the face of time for transforming him into an ugly, diseased, lonely old man of no use. In youth, he was very active and smart and had many friends who he used to discuss with about politics and love. He has supposed time to be the most powerful tyrant that has transfigured him. The speaker feels very angry as there are not single women who look at him and remembers the faces of beauties who used to love him in his youth and expresses his rage by telling that he wants to spit into the face of time for transforming him into an old and ugly man of no use. Why does the poet show his anger against time भनेको छ. यो प्रश्नको उत्तर पनि अगाडि हामीले छलफल गरिसकेका छौँ. In this poem, The Lamentation of Old Pensioner, W.B. Yeats shows his anger against the time because it has given much pain to him. The cruel time has changed him from happy to sad, young to old, and energetic to weak. In the past, he had many friends and beloveds, but the cruel time has made him old and alone. His romantic youth, his happiness is seized by the cruel time. It has made him as a old broken tree. Nobody likes to talk him in his old age due to generation gap. He could do nothing except to lament for the romantic past in his painful old age. So the poet wants to speak on the face of time, and he is very angry with the cruel time. Why and how does the old pensioner lament? Now in this poem, The Lamentation of Old Pensioner, W.B. Yeats is lamenting for the loss of his romantic youth. He shows his anger against the time because it has given much pain to him. Mention any three things the old man laments about. भनेको छ. And in this poem, the poet or the old man is lamenting for his romantic past in his painful old age. He remembers his friends, his romantic days, and those beauties he used to love them. He laments for those things in his old age because he's alone and he has nobody to talk. He feels himself as a useless, broken tree. His friends used to talk about love and politics. He had many beauties that used to love him, but now neither a single woman looked at him. Why does the old man want to spit into face of time? यो प्रश्नको उत्तर अगाडि पनि आएको छ. हेर्नुहोस्. यो राइटिङ एस्से अन युथ एन्ड एज भनेको छ. यो पनि आउन सक्ने सम्भावित प्रश्न हो. विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूले यसलाई चाहिँ स्क्रिनसट गरेर राख्नु होला अथवा चाहिँ कपीमा टिप्नु होला. र अन्तमा यस्तै अन्य भिडियोहरू अथवा लर्निङ मटेरियल्सको लागि मेरो युट्युब च्यानल सन्तोष सुवेदीलाई लाइक गर्न, सब्स्क्राइब गर्न र केही कमेन्टहरू गर्न नभुल्नु होला भन्दै अर्को भिडियोसम्मको लागि म चाहिँ तपाईहरुबाट